Excited to be here for another Monday for another Women in the Metaverse, where we open up our space to have an iron sharpening conversation. You guys know we've been coming hard with so many different topics, and one that has really been a trending topic not only throughout society but throughout the Raw network with a lot of our other collaborators and panels has been AI. And I was thinking, and I'm like, we haven't really dug into AI with the Women in the Metaverse series just yet. And so I want to spend this month doing just that, because AI is one of these tools throughout this digital revolution that is going to be a game changer and has already been game changer for big businesses like Microsoft, where you see them, doing massive layoffs and taking big shifts and backing AI. And not only them, but so many companies. And so we want to really look at AI and how we can use it to sharpen ourselves and be getting the skills that will not only be beneficial to ourselves but to our peers and to others as well. So I'm very excited to get into the conversation. Tanya SC, you said you can't hear over the music there, no problem. It's always recorded. And I'm very excited because I've also got a special treat for you guys before we even get started into the conversation. As you guys know, last week I was talking all about NFTs. And yes, our Women in the Metaverse NFT is out and ready. So this has been our official minted NFT, Lean On Me by Mocasso. Now you will see there was one other NFT that was minted first, but I told you guys the saga of how an NFT flipper actually minted all of the 90 free mints that were out there and then listed them for sale. So they were no longer a free mint. So we're going to stick with our airdrop way of completing a Google form, and then we'll just airdrop it to you. That way we have 100 of those NFTs, because we have a goal to get 100 women into our Women in the Metaverse network, our official club, where if you hold that NFT, you will have access to the Women in the Metaverse spaces, such as this one Treehouse, and a few of our other spaces that will continue to release to host your own events, as well as actually accessing an exclusive space where the live recording will be happening. So right now, if you wanted to get the NFT, you would click on this portal, fill out that Google form, we'd airdrop it to you. Right now, we are filming the Women in the Metaverse podcast live. But as you guys can see, the Metaverse is growing, and we get a lot of people that start popping into our podcast, which is great. I love them adding to the conversation. But as we continue to expand, we want to make sure our production has a set foundation, and also, like I said, really harness that network that we're building with. So what we've decided is we actually have an exclusive space for women in the Metaverse. And once you do hold that NFT, you'll be able to access that, which will actually be here. So you'll see there's a link right here which I can actually click on to go over to the new space. And I still haven't revealed the official new Women in the Metaverse space just yet, because that'll be next week. I wanted to kind of give you guys piece by piece information. So this week is all about the NFTs and the patches, and next week will be all about the actual stuff. But once you click on the NFT, you'll actually be able to come into this space. And if you're still in the WIM Treehouse, X will actually be screen sharing the YouTube live right now, so that you can also see while I'm filming here in the exclusive WIM network space, you will still be able to be in the WIM Treehouse, which is open. Okay, so let me break that down again. Okay, so we have this awesome NFT. So let's talk back at our NFT, which is for all of the for ways for us to connect all of the women in the Metaverse that are in our network. And if you hold this, you can use our spaces for your own events and have access to this space, which is locked while we're filming live and where we're going to continue to have our conversation. Now, if you aren't an NFT ticket holder, then you will still be able to watch in the Treehouse, which is open to the public. And if you're an NFT token or NFT holder, then you'll actually be able to come into the WIM Network exclusive space to be a part of the recording. Okay, and not only will you get this awesome NFT and access to this token gated space, but I did also throw in an awesome wearable, which is this Women in the Metaverse patch, which is a wearable that you can actually put on your avatar as well. And this will show everybody that you see in the metaverse that, hey, I am a part of that Women in the Metaverse network and we're doing amazing things. And that's how we rockin'. Okay, you guys? So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. But this is how we're going to keep going. So if you actually want to be a part of the conversation for these Women in the Metaverse live recordings, make sure you go to the treehouse, fill out that Google form, and we'll airdrop you the NFT and you can be a part of the next one. So let's dive right in, because I did have a lot that I wanted to talk about today. Like I said, when it comes to AI and how AI can help women in the metaverse. So throughout this month, we'll be talking about the different ways that looks like. So this week we'll be just talking about, you know, ways that AI can help women generally. And then next week we'll be talking about how AI can empower women, and we'll be actually showing a full flow with how you can use AI to generate an idea, generate the content, generate a caption to post your content, and again show you how you can use AI to add it to what you're doing to be more proficient and efficient, and again use it as a tool that it's created to be. And that'll be next week. Then the 15th will be Moms in the Metaverse with Tiny Creates. On the 22nd, it'll be how AI can help protect women in places like the metaverse. And then on the 29th, it'll be how AI affects children or the next generation. Because again, a lot of us as women are also mothers, or just, you know, caretakers and nurturers of others. And so when we think about how it's going to affect the next generation, like our children, I think it's something that's really interesting to talk about. But today, we're going to slow it down and just say, how can AI help women? Okay, well, you guys know myself as a woman, I had to ask AI how AI thought AI could help women, because that's a way that it helps me constantly when I'm constantly creating content and trying to get started with my idea generation for these different podcasts. So I'm going to start out by going over a few of the ways that AI suggested that it can help women, and then I'm going to share a few of my own that I would love to put out there for a little food for thought, and then we'll click over to the audience back in the treehouse to see if anybody else is sharing their own thoughts, and also on YouTube. So please make sure you're dropping your thoughts in the comments if so. But let's get into it. So some of the ways that AI can help women. Well, the metaverse as a virtual shared space has the potential to offer a more inclusive and equal environment for women. Here are some ways that AI can help. Number 1, customization. So AI can help create personalized avatars that better represent women in the metaverse. By allowing for greater customization for avatars, AI can help women feel more comfortable and empowered in virtual events. And that is so important, because if you think about it, you know, when we go on Ready Player Me and we make our avatar, they are kind of like the same body shape, or you kind of end up with the body shape, but it's kind of hard to figure out how you ended up with it. You know, some are taller, some are a little more slender, some are a little bit more feminine, but none really fit exactly maybe how you look or maybe want to be represented. They are just very vanilla and very much the same. Whereas I've been on another platform such as like Stageverse, Metaverse, where you can't use AI to customize your own avatar, but you can use AI to customize your outfit. And it was amazing to me one time, because I remember me and Tiny were wearing the same exact outfit, right? Because they had just templates, so you choose which top you want, which bottom you want, you could add a hat or whatever the case may be, and they had maybe 10 of each, and we were literally wearing the same exact combination. But because you can use AI to actually make the pattern look different, we had no idea we were wearing the same thing until we were like at the very end, and I was looking at it and I'm like, oh wow, we're wearing the same exact thing, but just our own flair. And if you think about how you can use something like AI to then affect the body size of that avatar and how that representation even matters. I know one woman that was making thick avatars just because there weren't thick avatars represented in the space naturally, but there are thick women in the world, and so to say that that wouldn't be represented in the metaverse, what would happen to all the thick women, right? They wouldn't just disappear. All of a sudden there would just not be that representation, and maybe you're not in that class, so you don't know how it feels to not be represented, but those that feel excluded because they don't see an avatar that fits them, they may feel like this space not be for them then, right? Or some may, because it doesn't matter what your body shape is. You can be whatever you want to be, which some people see that as well. But we want to have the freedom to choose and to express, because maybe you want to be bigger, right? I know for myself personally, I like being a thicker woman. I don't like being super skinny because I feel childish, right? And so I like my avatar being represented to look womanly as well. So that customization can really, again, affect women when it comes to how we want to be put out there and be represented, and having that freedom of choice that women love to have when it comes to doing so. And then we have safety, which is where AI can help create safe spaces within the metaverse. For example, AI-powered chatbots that could monitor conversations for abusive or harassing language, which will alert moderators to intervene and block problematic users. This is so important. This is one of the big reasons why we have even shifted to saying, hey, you know what? All of our live recordings will now be happening in one token gated space.
That's why we have even shifted to saying, hey, you know what?
Space,
all of our live recordings will now be happening in one token gated space.
That's why we have even shifted to saying, hey, you know what?
All of our live recordings will now be happening.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. I had both of these up here. But just like I was saying, right? So we have both of these happening where we have our live streaming happening in our token gated space, and then our crowd where anybody can pop in happening in the open space. Because when we're having, again, these iron sharpening conversations and trying to create powerful content for viewers, we don't want somebody popping in that can make their name be whatever it wants, or unmuting themselves and playing music, or being disruptive to your message intentionally. Especially once you start to expand and others start to see what you do, and you start to see more people come in and intentionally try to throw you off and intentionally distract and cause disruption in your content and what you've got going on. So the best ways that you can do is protect yourself and use the safeguards that these platforms have put into spaces like token gating, which says, hey, if you have a community, go and do that in a space that's just for you guys, and let there be an open space for everyone else. And so I'm very excited to see that continue to grow, especially as more holders get their NFTs. We currently have 9 women that hold the Women in the Metaverse NFT, and for the conversation this month on the 22nd, when we talk about protection, I want that to be an open space where women or any person shares different experiences they may have felt already in the metaverse or seen, and we'll talk and cite different examples as well to talk about that. Because I once read an article that said there's a high rate of sexual assault in the metaverse, and it catches you off guard at first because you think, wow, they're in the virtual space, how is that even possible? But it is, and it has to be addressed and regulated by us, the community, creating it now, or it's going to continue to go on. And AI, again, is one of those tools that can help that because of that algorithm. It can see those words where you can't even type it and post it if you do that. You can't enter it. AI has the power to restrict certain things that can help try to safeguard in those instances when used correctly. And then so some of the other things that AI can help with is inclusivity, where AI can help make the metaverse more inclusive for women with disabilities by creating features that support various needs such as assistive technologies, or by making it more accessible to women with mobility issues. And again, I read a really great article and video where a guy that was not able to walk was in the metaverse, and he was able to walk again, right? And because he was in VR and felt like he was walking, it was such a liberating experience for him to feel like he had that ability to walk again. So when you talk about in that word inclusivity and representation and how that matters for someone like, again, someone with disabilities, where although it may not affect you, so you don't see that, there is a big population that sees that and understands opportunity and what that opens up now for them to be able to feel and experience again that they wouldn't have had in the real physical world. So then there's also empowerment, which is where AI can help women navigate and engage with the metaverse more effectively. For example, AI-powered assistants or guides could help women find relevant communities, events, or opportunities for collaboration and networking. And think about how important women empowerment is. I mean, I'm always looking at hashtag for like hashtag women supporting women, hashtag women empowerment, hashtag women in business, right? Because there is that community of women that sees another woman doing it and wants that woman to win and really support that and be that plug that they need, right? We had our Women in the Metaverse panel, and that was great, where we brought in a bunch of different women. And then I see Tavana Evans, one of our guests that was on that panel, post a few days later, that she's having a few events in Spatial now and actually needed someone to help stream her events. And I'm like, hey, that's what we do as well. So we can help out with that. That's something that we can definitely establish, right? Because that's how we can empower each other, by collaborating and networking and using our skills to be able to help each other get the job done. Because again, we understand it is important to record this, to share it, and be able to get it and this content to others. So if you know how to do that and somebody's looking for that, you can be that piece to the puzzle that they're looking for. And that's why in Raw especially, we always tell people it's about passing on that education that you have, because you know something that somebody else doesn't know, no matter how big or small, and it matters, and it's going to help that person get on to their next step, and that matters. And then we have representation, where AI can help address the underrepresentation of women in the development of metaverse technologies by encouraging and supporting women's participation in the tech industry and investing in diverse teams. AI can help more inclusive and representative of virtual environments. When I read that one, I definitely seen where we were talking about how, again, AI and those algorithms, and when you think about how our entire society is shifting, and like even going and getting a bank loan, right? I mean, we all already know a lot of this stuff is already AI regulated, right? Where it's going to get sorted if you answer certain questions before it even makes it to a real person anyways, right? Or there's certain things that will automatically reject things or automatically pass things. So imagine if now you're submitting a loan, and because you have found a board of all women from all around the globe, now that's automatically approved because AI is programmed to go and fund women founded missions and organizations and things of that nature. Then understanding that that algorithm is in your favor, you'll be able to understand like, hey, well, we want women in the forefront then. And that's what we got to do to be able to do things like get funding and different things of that nature. And so then it summarizes to say, overall, AI has the potential to create a more equitable and empowering metaverse for women by promoting safety, inclusivity, and representation. And again, all of those different things that I mentioned were all those different ways that we can really dive into that and understand how AI, when we say that, isn't, again, this like Santa Claus thing where you heard of it and maybe you're enjoying the presents but you don't believe in it, or you kind of do, or whatever the case may be, because it is a real thing and it is a real tool that's here to stay, and it's going to be a part of our society. So again, the better we take the time to understand how to use these tools, the better off we'll all be while they are furthering with, again, creating the algorithm that these tools are using, right? Because again, it is algorithm based, so we have to be a part of creating that. And on that note, I will take a pause to check in over with the WIM Treehouse, see if we have anybody that's wanted to add anything here. Okay, so we still got Tiny in the house. That's great. And so yeah, if you have any thoughts, feel free to drop it in the chat. Otherwise, I see you guys got it up on the big screen so you guys can see how the treehouse is open and you are able to sit in there and watch the content. But I'm over here filming in our token gated space. And Tiny, you do have the NFTs, so feel free to pop over to the WIM network space if you like. But she multitasking, getting her hair done and being in the Women in the Metaverse, and that goes to show that's exactly what women in the Metaverse can do, right? Get your hair done and explore in the Metaverse. And when it came down to the few things that I wanted to add, it was just those kind of things, right? Those other kind of things that AI can do to really help women that are also trying to build in the Metaverse, which was one, hitting on again those personal assistants. And not only for your business or your digital dynasty that you're building here across blockchain and Metaverse and different social medias, but also your also your chores, right? Also having a physical AI that might be able to do your dishes for you. I mean, I already am a preacher about the dishwasher, and that's only half a robot that I still have to load. But imagine if there was a bot in there that kind of rinsed and did all of my dishwashing, where I put the dishes in and took the dishes out and did that extra step. And we already see those robot vacuums that will, keep the floor tidy, and these different drones that will go and deliver your takeout and, come and drop off Amazon, and all of these different ways that we see AI physical assistants that will be able to come and assist us as well, that will be able to take away a lot of the nuances that they will call it, right? Like, for example, one of them, when I was reading an article about some of the chores that AI would be able to take over that would really help people, would be grocery shopping. Now, in that sense, it is kind of scary, because you see also where it comes into that, like, where is AI too much, where it's like maybe you want to get like 2 gallons of milk because maybe you like making mac and cheese and it's Thanksgiving and you got a lot to make, but AI's like, oh, you already got milk, so you only need 1, and it's trying to suggest what you need compared to what you trying to get what you need. So I think that's something you have to watch when it comes to grocery shopping, or just again food for thought how that would look. But nonetheless, it will be able to predict what you're going to need because of what you regularly get, or if you're going to be preparing a certain meal, be able to add all the ingredients, order them from your store that you usually get, have it delivered, and that be something that can be automated at that point, right? I've tried a lot of different delivery services actually myself that did things like delivered fresh produce on the weekly basis, or different Instacarts and DoorDashes and all different kind of different grocery things, but nobody has it quite right yet. But they're trying, because again, once they do get that figured out, that's going to be a big business that is going to help a lot of people real quick get a lot of that time back that they spend grocery shopping, once or twice a week. And then you also have, like I said, dishes, laundry, a lot of these things that, again, AI, you can have, a physical robot like you would see in one of these factories, or that you've been seeing maybe across social media, where it can come and pick up the bin and put it in the washing machine, and these robots are programmed to be able to complete these tasks for you. So that now, as a woman in the Metaverse who is being a mom and being a wife and having to cook and clean, but also want to build spaces and learn new softwares and be able to develop more, now you're getting more time because you're having to do less chores. Or now you have AI, where now, instead of having to spend 2 or 3 hours trying to create a picture or infographic, you have things like Midjourney or DALL-E that you can go and generate a picture in a matter of 5 seconds, and now bust out, use Canva and their AI to get a nice template and layout that fits whatever platform you're using perfectly, and boom, now you've got a flyer in 15 minutes. right? So again, all of these different ways that AI can start to streamline your personal, your mental, your business, your chores, so that again you start to become proficient in all of your womanly ways, right? And so I want you to think about AI in that kind of sense, and how you can add AI to and help you in that. You know, ask AI, what's a good meal prep plan that I could do for this week? What's a good workout that I could do at home this week? You can use AI to do so much to really, again, help that physical to digital balance. And then also with that, also is helping you with skills you don't have. Just like I just said, you can ask AI to do anything. You can ask AI to give you a code. You know, oh, you're making a website, you can ask it to give you a specific code. There's so many platforms now that give you an option to come with a pre-built website, and then it even gives you an option to say, hey, if you got a little code, you can plug that in here now, and now you can actually go to AI and say, hey, I want to be able to see my screen flash and look like flashing lights when people scroll right here, and it will give you the code so that it does that on your website. Right? And now, yes, you might have to go and do an extra step or two to still YouTube and figure out how to add that code into that built website builder. But at least now you aren't starting at how to go learn JavaScript in order to write the code and then plug it in. Right? It's now giving you access to skills that you hadn't had. And saves you money, because now you aren't also having to go and pay somebody, right? Because again, you could have also paid somebody for that same script and implementing it, but now you have the power to be able to use AI to help you out and be able to learn from there. And again, we'll go into that more next week, where we actually use AI through a workflow with idea creation, content creation, and how we would post that, to dive into that some more. But those are just some of the ways that I really wanted to put that out there with how AI can help women in the metaverse. And although I know I keep saying women in the metaverse, you guys hear, that can help anyone. That can help any person, no matter what age, no matter what gender, no matter what association, no matter what they want to call it. The different things that I mentioned is how AI can help any person in today's day and age. So it's, again, important for us to grasp that and start applying it, start learning it, start playing with these tools. And that's exactly what we're about to do this month, is dive into that a little more. So I'm excited to go over these topics with you. And as you guys know, I did say that NFT for joining the Women in the Metaverse is absolutely free. So make sure you actually come into the Women in the Metaverse Treehouse, which I will drop a link for that for, and you'll be able to come in here and fill out this Google form right here, and then we'll airdrop you that NFT, and you'll be able to actually access this exclusive space for women in the metaverse, which again unlocks our spaces for you to host your own events in, and you'll be able to meet us here on Mondays live at 4 p.m. and we'll actually be filming this. So I see that we also have Ben Gallon that's jumped into the Women in the Metaverse Treehouse. Welcome. I hope you've enjoyed the conversation. Thank you, Tiny. I see that you said you'll be back next week. Very excited. And I just asked the audience, was there any ways that you thought that AI would really be able to assist not only women in the metaverse, but anyone that you wanted to add to this conversation before we go today? And if not, no pressure. Definitely still wanted to offer and open up the floor to everyone. And if not, no pressure. Definitely still wanted to offer and open up the floor to everyone. Okay, great. Well, that's a wrap, everyone. We'll catch you next week. Like I said, you are going to be in for a treat, because we are going to be doing a live presentation using AI, and we're going to be across a few different AI platforms. So if you have never seen ChatGPT or Midjourney, make sure you're there next week to see how you can use AI to start creating content, writing your captions, and all of that good stuff to, again, use these tools to take your content up a notch and sharpen that iron as we go through this new revolution together. See you then. Peace.